Hey everybody, and welcome back to Super Retro. My name is Chris, and today I'll be sharing a slight recap as well as some of my thoughts of Nintendo's newest Direct presentation. So let's get started. Immediately, the presentation began with Pikmin 4, and I've actually never played these games even though I have multiple Pikmin entries in my collection, but this one looks amazing. I love these updated graphics, especially in the details, and I think that's why a lot of people love these games. Not only are they cute, but there's all sorts of little details you can find in these environments. The trailer music was really gorgeous, and I think they wanted to highlight some of these new gameplay elements in this new installment. I don't know enough about the older Pikmin entries, but it looks like some of these newer Pikmin have different abilities than the older games, such as the Ice Pikmin and as well as the dog that can help you move along in these environments. This game looks really good, and I think I might have to try it out. Next up, Nintendo announced Volume 3 of the DLC expansion pass for Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I don't know enough about this game because I haven't played it, but I know that these RPGs are fantastic. I played a lot of the first one, need to go back and finish it, as well as the second one. And then later this year, they will release Volume 4. Volume 3 is available on February 15th. Next up, we've got Samba de Amigo Party Central by Sega. And this is a timing game where you use the Joy-Cons and motion controls to time out your different inputs with the music. This game looks really fun. I always liked, like Rock Band and some of the Taiko drum games, so this one looks super fun. This game will be available this summer. Next up was an Xseed game called Fashion Dreamer, and this game actually caught the attention of my partner because they are into fashion. This is like a game where you want to become an influencer, so you go through and design clothes and pick out fashion and outfits, and I guess you advertise and try to market these looks and things, and it looked really fun actually, so I'm interested to see where this goes. This game touted over 1,000 design options, and you can add personal touches, so it looks super interesting, and it will be released later this year. Dead Cells Return to Castlevania is an expansion for the popular roguelike Metroidvania Dead Cells. This game looks super fun, as I'm into games, such as Super Metroid and Castlevania Symphony of the Night and stuff like that. The art style looks great, and the game looks fast-paced, so I'm interested to see how this might be, being such a big Castlevania fan. So if you want to check this one out, it comes out March 6th. Next up was kind of a surprise, because you normally don't see Tron games, but Tron Identity is a puzzle adventure where your decisions and alliances will impact the outcome. Maybe because the new Disney ride is going to be opening soon, that they wanted to put some more investment into the Tron series, but this game actually looks kind of interesting regarding the decision making. So if you want to check that out, it comes out this April. Next up, we've got a detective game, and this is a HD remaster of Ghost Trick Phantom Detective. This game actually looks really good. I'm always into these detective games anyway, but being made by Capcom, I'm sure it's a really good game. This one makes it on the Switch this summer. I'm not really sure why, but detective themes seemed really popular in this Direct. This is the second of the 3 detective games that I noticed in this Direct presentation. This one has a more anime approach to it, and it almost reminds me of a Persona type, The World Ends With You type game. The music in the trailer seemed really cool, and I love the art style. It seems like there's some sort of tactical battle gameplay as well as some open world elements, so I'm excited to see where this goes. If you're interested in this game, it comes out later this year. Next up, we had Bayonetta Origins, Cereza and the Lost Demon. Even though it's a spin-off, this game looks really cool to me. In this game, you control both the witch as well as the demon at the same time, and it's got this cool Okami cartoony art style. And the gameplay seems to remind me of The Last Guardian for some reason, because you use your pet kind of to advance into the next environment and fight enemies and things, but this actually looks really good. I need to play Bayonetta 3 while I'm at it, because that game looks awesome as well. If you want to play this game, it comes out March 17th. Next up, Nintendo announced Splatoon 3's expansion pass, which will be coming out in 2 waves. The first wave is Inkopolis, which is, I believe, a city from the first game. I don't know enough about the series. I need to try it out because it looks super fun. There's all sorts of shopping options as well as concerts that can be performed by the Salmon Sisters, and I believe all the previous gameplay modes can work the same here. Wave 2 of this expansion pass had a much more serious tone to it, and I'm really intrigued by it. I'm wondering if maybe there are some more story elements to this expansion. I'm not sure. Wave 1 is already available, and Wave 2 will be coming out later, but if you go ahead and purchase the expansion pass, Wave 2 will be included later. Next up, we've got Disney's Illusion Island, and this is a 2D platformer game, almost in the style of the newer Mickey Mouse animations. And this art style seems to be used at the Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway rides in the theme parks. This game seems to have a slight twist on the art style, but I kind of dig it. I'm not a huge fan of this new art style, but I think it works for this game. It looks like the animation flows really well, the movements are fluid, and it looks super fun, but I gotta say, I think the sprites are a little small, or maybe even the camera's zoomed out too much, but aside from that, I think this game looks pretty fun. You can play as Mickey, Minnie, Donald, or Goofy, and I don't know, there might be other characters later on, but we'll see. If you're interested, this game will be available on July 28th. Next up, Nintendo announced a new expansion pass for Fire Emblem Engage. This looks really cool because you can use some of the characters from the other games in the series. I have actually not played Fire Emblem since the Game Boy Advance entries, and I've been trying to get into some of the newer ones, so I might have to pick this one up as well as the expansion pass because I see some of my favorite characters from back then. Wave 2 and 3 have these new characters, and Wave 4 seems like it'll have a story mode called Fel Xenologue. Wave 2 is available now. Next up is a game called Harmony: The Fall of Reverie. In this world, it seems like it is very much intertwined between a very futuristic society as well as a society filled with like deities and mysterious powers of the divine. I really like the art style of this game, and the music is done by the composer of Celeste, so you know it's got to be good. The main draw of this game seems to be the branching story paths. It seems to have a really serious tone, and depending on what you choose, you can save or doom humanity. This game will be available in June of this year. Next up is Octopath Traveler 2 by Square Enix, and this game looks fantastic. I love how they intermingle the 2D art style with 3D environments. It just looks beautiful. I mean, if this game had came out on like the PS1 era, it would have been revolutionary. Of course, we didn't have that kind of technology, but these games look amazing. I really need to try them out. This game comes out on February 24th. I'm stoked to say that Katamari is getting another remaster. Earlier, Bandai Namco released Katamari Damacy Rerolled, and now we have We Love Katamari Rerolled. These games are truly some of the most unique video game experiences I've had. The music's always awesome, the art's always awesome, and this release will have new levels, as well as the ability to play as the King of All Cosmos and take selfies. This game comes out on June 2nd. Next, we have a turn-based RPG by Sabotage Studio called Sea of Stars. And I'm super interested in this game, because I love RPGs, but look at this art style. It's just beautiful, it's detailed, the shadows and the environments and things, it's just beautiful. And Yasunori Mitsuda, the composer for Xenogears and Xenosaga, Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross, and lots of other games, has composed a few tunes here, so I'm super excited to see what this game's all about. This game is available now on the Nintendo eShop. Next, we have a game called Omega Strikers, which is a quote-unquote free-to-play online multiplayer showdown. It seems like it's air hockey on steroids, and it looks super fun. I don't think this game has a ton of content or anything, but for a free-to-play game, it looks decent. This game comes out on April 27th. Next, we have the Etrian Odyssey Origins Collection, and this is a trilogy of games released by Sega. These games were originally on the Nintendo DS, and they are a dungeon crawler, old school type RPG series. I never got around to playing these on the DS, so I would actually love to try this out. This release will have new difficulty options as well as an auto mapping system, so it'll make it a little bit easier on new players. This game comes out on June 1st, and each game in this trilogy can be purchased on the eShop individually. Next, Nintendo teased a little bit more of the Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp, which is a couple of months away. It comes out on April 21st. But I was a little peeved to find out that there was no gameplay footage here. It's just some cartoon animations, but I'm sure that these games will be just as good as the originals were on the Game Boy Advance. Next up, we have Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe with the new Magalore Epilogue. This is 20 interdimensional stages, which you can play with up to 4 players on the local system. I haven't played Return to Dreamland, but this game looks super fun, and I'm sure having some extra content will make it even better. This game comes out on February 24th. Next up is a huge announcement that I'm super excited for, and I've been waiting for. Game Boy games are being added to Nintendo Switch Online, and I know a ton of people are raving about this. Available at launch, we will have Tetris, Super Mario Land 2, Link's Awakening DX, Gargoyle's Quest, Game & Watch Gallery 3, Alone in the Dark: The New Nightmare, Metroid 2: Return of Samus, Wario Land 3, and Kirby's Dream Land, which is Kirby's debut title. Along with these games, you can have Game Boy Color, Game Boy Pocket, and regular Game Boy screen filters to play these games. And per usual, more games will be added in the future. And something I might be even more excited for because I don't have a big library of these games, we have the Game Boy Advance library being added as well to the Online Plus expansion pack. Now I know that this costs more than the normal plan, but I do think it could be justified with all the content that Nintendo's adding. I mean, they're getting close to competing with the Xbox Game Pass here with content. Available at launch, you'll have Super Mario Advance 4, Super Mario Bros. 3, and this also comes with the e-reader levels, which could be hard to find. I'm not sure what the prices are on those if you look for the cards on eBay, but that is super cool that they're including those. And you'll also have WarioWare Inc., Kuru Kuru Kuruin, Mario Kart Super Circuit, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, and The Legend of Zelda Minish Cap. Later on, they'll be adding Metroid Fusion, Fire Emblem, and a ton of other games. I'm also stoked to find out that there will be local and online multiplayer. Now, I don't know the quality of these, but still stoked to figure this out. The Game Boy and Game Boy Advance expansions are available to play now. We may not have Metroid Prime 4, but we are getting a Metroid Prime remaster, and this game looks beautiful. I did have Metroid Prime in the past, and I've played it before, but I never really got into it enough or beat it, maybe because when I was younger I didn't quite understand it or I wasn't good at it. But with this remaster, I think I'm gonna have to pick it up day one. Not only is this game beautiful, but they are adding a new control style where you can use dual stick functions, but you can also use the old control style if you prefer it that way. The digital version launched already, and the physical will be available on February 22nd. I couldn't be more excited. Next up, we have Spike Chunsoft's Master Detectives Archives Rain Code. Now, here's another detective game, but this one has a little edge to it because you use supernatural abilities to help in your investigations. The narrative in this game seems to be a little bit darker, and I am interested in this one as well. I wonder which would be better, this one or Deca Police. This game launches on June 30th. Being the RPG nerd that I am, I'm super excited to announce that Baten Kaitos 1 and 2 will also be remastered. Originally released on the GameCube, these two games can go for a pretty penny today. And while I do have one of these entries, the lesser expensive one, I haven't played the other one, so I gotta check this game out when it comes out this summer. Next up, we've got Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time. And this seems to be another, like farming simulator, almost like Animal Crossing meets RPG. I mean, this game honestly doesn't look the greatest, but if you're into this sort of thing, I think it could be fun. I am into all sorts of these simulator type games, so I might end up trying it out, I don't know. According to the trailer, you can travel through time, rebuild the village, cook, farm, and etc. This game comes out later this year. Next, Nintendo teased Professor Layton and the New World of Steam. I know this series has a lot of love, and it looks really cutesy and fun, and I'm sure the story's decent too, so this might be another one for me to try out. Next, Nintendo announced Wave 4 of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass, and in this DLC wave, you get a Yoshi's Island course as well as Birdo as a playable character. This will be available later this spring. Next in the trailer, we had a game montage which shows Minecraft Legends, Blanc, Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection, Have a Nice Death, WBSC Baseball, Disney Dreamlight Valley Realm Update, and Tales of Symphonia Remastered, which I am super excited about. Any Tales fans out there, that game comes out on February 17th. And then we have the moment we've been waiting for. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom trailer, which is the sequel of Breath of the Wild. This game looks pretty incredible, and I've been waiting to play this game since I beat the first one. Now, I have to say, this game seems to have a really dark tone, and from this trailer, it looks like there's a big focus on combat. From what we know, it seems like Ganon's been resurrected, and he's taken control of Hyrule Castle and brought it into the sky, but we don't know many other details than that. I know a lot of people hate the voice actor's performance in this trailer. I could look past it, but I can't say that I agree that this voice is not that menacing, and it almost feels like, I don't know, a 20-something-year-old trying to imitate an older menacing man, and Ganon is so evil in this game. I mean, he's literally won. He's taken over the place and destroyed the environment and killed so many people and creatures and things. So I would like to hear a bit more menacing of a performance, but, you know, I'm not the art director or whatever, so I can look past that, and this game looks beautiful. Along with some new abilities, it looks like Link will also have an array of vehicles to traverse with. I'm not sure how I feel about, you know, some of these sky islands and things. I was not a huge fan of Skyward Sword. I need to try and beat it one day, but I can never get into it. To me, it had the same problem that some people had with Wind Waker, where it almost felt like they were trying to make the world bigger than it seemed by having the sky, and it didn't really work for me. So I hope that in this game it doesn't feel that way, and we still have this huge explorable world that we did in Breath of the Wild. One thing I'm worried about is this game getting a little stale by using the same environments, but I am hoping for the best. I'm excited to see some of the darker elements in this game, and it almost seems like something bad's gonna happen. Like, do you think maybe Zelda will die for the first time? I mean, who knows, but this game, it looks really, really cool, and it comes out on May 12th. With all that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. I really did. I'm excited to see some of these announcements, mostly for the Metroid Prime Remaster, the Baten Kaitos re-release, and of course, Tears of the Kingdom. I'm also super stoked about this Game Boy expansion for Nintendo Switch Online. Let me know in the comments which games you're looking forward to the most, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, as that helps me out a lot. I hope to see you in the next one, and take care.